I spent $1,062 on laundry. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris and I'm building a business that suits my lifestyle. Now, at the start of this financial year, which is FY24 at the time of this video, I started the year with some big changes. I got a new storage unit. I actually got a second storage unit in that case. And I also started outsourcing all of my laundry for washing and prepping of my clothing for my store. If you don't know, that my store is roughly about 50 to 55% of all revenue and sales. So that's a big part of the business. Now, in this video, I want to share with you basically the understanding and my thinking around leverage and how a cost-benefit analysis came to my favor in helping me understand why this was the best decision to make for the business. And hopefully it also give you a better understanding of why we should use leverage and why doing a cost benefit analysis will help you better understand and better make a decision. Now, if you do stick around to the end, I've also got my July 2023 results, and I've also got week 134 results progress in the business. And of course, I'm going to take you through show and tell and all that jazz as well. So let's dive in. Now, if you are new here, I predominantly sell full-time on eBay. I do a few things off eBay as well, working with a few different connections, whether it's consignments or just private deals and things like that. Going into FY24, I wanted to be able to give myself more time or my worker more time, which meant I spent $1,062 on laundry. Yes, $1,062 on laundry, and that was essentially to pick up, collect, prep, so that's wash, dry, fold, to be dropped off again within 24 hours, everything that I needed to be able to get it in front of a camera and get it ready for eBay. Now, the reason why I do this is because eBay does have a used clothing policy, and it also makes the items look so much more presentable. And actually, I feel like they want to be more obtained as well, just because it makes them pop. And it's easier to actually photograph and actually process from, getting ready to put on eBay. So the big question is spending $1,062 worth it? Well, let's understand it. Here are all the facts that I had to consider before making this decision. And of course, this is for this exact scenario. Obviously, it's going to change, it's going to be fluid, and there's going to be other factors depending on who you are and what you're doing. But I will take you through at a high level, basically the way of my thinking, and I'll also add in any assumptions and things like that along the way. So there was 205 kilos of clothing, roughly 495 individual items. Now, if I'm paying someone to actually do this themselves, like whether it's myself or a worker, essentially, they're going to be doing that at home, or they're going to be doing it at my house, or whatever it may be. And just so you have a better understanding, the current retail assistant casual rate is around $31. Now, I'm not going to do this myself because it would cost $50 and it would actually blow this out even more. But we're going to use the $31 per hour cost, meaning that's how much you're paying someone if they were doing this themselves. The expected time to be spending to do this is 24 hours because the washing service can do it in 24 hours. So I have to take that into consideration as well. And it is assumed that this worker, if I was going to have someone to do this rather than a washing service themselves, can process roughly about 20 items. So that's wash, dry, and prepare per hour. And on the contrary, this same person can then also photo or revenue generate the opportunity of 13 items per hour. So that's being conservative, but we're going to use that number at this point in time, which means the revenue opportunity, because the current ASP for my clothing is $36. Now, on the contrary, we have to also take up scenario 2, which is if I outsource this, how much does it cost? Well, it's cost me $1,062.50, and it's taken 24 hours, and that's pick up and delivered back to the storage unit. So was it worth it? Why was it worth it? Let's break it down. So scenario number 1 is cost. So worker X wage for washing. It means we have to take into account the time required to process the 405 items, which is roughly going to be 20.25 hours. So the cost of washing is going to be, using the same math, $627.75, right? Opportunity cost for this worker. Now, the opportunity cost for worker X is loss from not doing revenue opportunity work, which would mean revenue opportunity items that couldn't be produced because the worker was washing. That's roughly 263 items, which means the revenue opportunity that has been lost, meaning the revenue opportunity lost due to these items, is roughly around $9,477. That's a big opportunity cost, actually. Now, in terms of benefits for this scenario, is the revenue from the revenue opportunity after washing, well, they still would have a little bit of time left after 24 hours, which means they've got about 3.75 hours left. So they could probably generate a revenue opportunity of roughly 49 items, which is on average about $1,755. So the net benefit for scenario 1 is essentially 1,755 minus all these costs or opportunity costs of $627 plus the $9,477 of lost revenue or potential revenue, meaning the net benefit of scenario one comes to a minus of $8,349. The reason why is because I'm paying someone to do like hands-on work, which means it takes them away from actually doing revenue generating work. And it means that the opportunity lost is actually quite a lot if I had them doing the revenue generating work, meaning it's not worth the time. Scenario two, on the contrary, is we're going to pay someone $1,062.50, which is a washing service. They come pick it up. They're going to do all the work. They're not in my way. And it means that my worker can actually go do revenue generating work. So the revenue opportunity from revenue opportunity work, meaning worker X is doing photos. In this case, that's the example we're using. It means they can produce over the 24 hours 312 items photoed, which means of these items, it generates an opportunity of $11,232. So the net benefit from scenario two is $11,232 minus the cost to actually have the service done, which is $1,062.50. And we also then need to take into account how much are we paying the worker to actually do this as well. So we need to take that into account. And then this becomes the new opportunity right here on screen. Thus, in conclusion, the net benefit for scenario two is much greater than scenario one. It also means that we're paying for a washing service and we're also paying our worker to be doing work, which is going to generate a greater potential output, meaning, revenue opportunity work. So that was the reason why I took this, and that was the more favorable option in this financial perspective. Assumptions we need to also consider: the timing of work, the processing of work, the pay rates, the assumed ASP, the revenue generating activities. Is opportunity only until sold? Of course, I don't have that money in my pocket until the item sold. And the idea is you want yourself or someone else working for you to be doing work that is going to enable revenue, not just do work that does not enable revenue. Yes, the clothing preparation, washing does enable maybe sell-through rate, and it also needs to be done because there is an eBay clothing use policy. However, it's not going to correlate directly to revenue opportunity activities. I will be honest, I leveraged the power of ChatGPT to help do this analysis, asking questions and clarifying. Usually I'll do this in Excel, and that is the beauty of the opportunity that we have today in this generation of all the tools and all the technology that we can leverage. So again, talking about leverage. All right, so that is why I decided to do what I'm doing and why it makes sense to do it. Of course, I've only been doing it for a month now, and it is early days, but so far so good, right? And I'm excited to be able to see what this is going to look like over the next 90 days. Of course, I don't have to do this kind of washing every week. I'm doing it on a monthly basis at this point, and it might even be a bit greater than monthly, more likely to be probably every 2 months or so, just to enable myself to get that bolster of throughput that enables me to be able to then go, so take the clothing in bulk, get it prepped, and then I've got enough to just get someone working and processing through it while I'm also doing other activities that enables the business to grow. This is all theory. I've got to go do the work. You know how this works, right? We can't just say all these things. We actually have to do the work. Now, speaking of doing the work, I do have the results of all the work that has paid off in July 2023, the first month of FY24, and I'm going to share it with you. So this is the profit and loss statement for July 2023. We did a total revenue of just shy of $13,200. Cost of goods sold was $2,405. Gross profit being $10,793. You can see all the operating expenses here. And I'm going to take you through some things that have not been included and why. So total expenses was $6,688 with an operating profit of $4,105. Margin being 31%. Now my goal is to stay above 30% margin. The reason why is because if I can generate $100,000, that's $30,000 profit into my pocket. If I can do greater than that, obviously 30% then correlates to what that number will be. That's why I focus on higher revenue, because my margin usually averages around 30% plus. Now, things that aren't shown here is GST. So the reason why I haven't shown GST is paid quarterly, and there is a little thing called GST due versus GST credits. So obviously when you purchase new things for your business, you also have to pay credit. So when I buy new stock, when I pay for the laundry service. So at the moment, this is at roughly, and still has to be finalized and reviewed by my accountant. So GST currently due is around $1,199, and the estimated GST credits is around $1,107, meaning the actual GST due is around $92. So it's actually kind of doesn't really make a huge problem at this point. It's not a big impact, but this will vary from time to time, and it would be something that I'll be checking in on a quarterly basis, more so because I'm running a tracker, and it will depend on month-to-month basis, but just being very transparent here. Now, actually, I will just say, make sure you speak to your own accountant about this, because that's not advice from me. That's purely just what's working for me and how it's working for me. Other things that I need to consider that haven't been shown here because they haven't occurred yet is payroll for my worker, which commences from August. So we'll see that expense actually start to take happen because they were not working in July. Storage costs will continue from August because there were no storage costs in terms of my storage units in July because I front loaded them at the end of the last FY. And there's consignment payments due in August for the sales that I had in July. So there's going to be a lot more expenditure that's going to occur in August, which will be interesting to see what actually happens and how that plays into the margins. But we're aiming for an average margin across the year, not necessarily every single month. So that will be interesting to see. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm also a bit scared, but also very excited. Now, the next thing that I want to share with you is profit first. Now, I follow the profit first system, which is essentially how I split up my money that gets paid out to me. So eBay has paid me into my account. This is after fees and after eBay costs and things like that. A total of came to $11,925. I'm splitting up my owner's pay, profit, OPEX, tax, and boost, as you can see up on screen. So 40% goes to me, 42% goes to OPEX, 8.5% goes to tax, that's GST and actual tax, and my boost is basically paying for the storage unit and a little bit of a buffer, which is about 8.5%. So that's what I've paid myself in July. And then that is July 2023. So if you've got any questions about this, do let me know. We're going to dive into week 134 and how the week on a micro level compared to what's been happening is actually occurring. Now, this week, last week, and the week before have slightly been lower than my average in terms of the average that I would like to be hitting. However, it is starting to increase back up over the last 3 weeks. We're seeing a trend back up. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster. What's been selling, as you can see, lots of clothing, almost being $2,000 worth of clothing. The rest has been bread and butter. There have even been a few losses here and there because I've just been clearing out stock. In terms of some of the cool items or top items that have sold this week, these aren't the top items, but just some of the cool items. So we've got the Witcher 2 Assassin's Enhanced Edition official game guide. That went over to Portugal. Cost me $5.42, sold it for $74.66. Now, after fees and postage, that one comes out to be about $43.70. Now, this one went to Portugal, so that $74 does include postage as well. Top item number 2 for this week was this Country Road cropped leather jacket. Also cost me $5.42, $74 in revenue. So that was the sale, and then $43.11 back into my pocket after fees and postage. And then the next 2 items. So item number 3 was just some bread and butter Levi's. They cost me around $13, sold them for $75. They've gone to Texas, and $39 profit after fees and postage. Obviously, I'm rounding the numbers here. And then the final item that I'll call out is this Assassin's Creed 3 Freedom Edition box set figure. No game, just the figure. Also cost me $5.42. Sold it for $58. That's including postage, and I've walked away with $32.67 after fees and postage. So pretty happy with this. In terms of how the week has actually progressed, we've actually done 80 sales this week with a total revenue of $2,859. Cost of goods was $537, so not too high. Profit being $1,051. ASP $35.74. Average cycle time working out to be just under 100 days. All right, team, we're going to dive into some show and tell. Good morning, folks. It is Monday morning, and we're back here getting it all done. We have a total of 32 items going out, and we're back down to 39,900, being going up and down between 40 and 39, 40 and 39 all weekend. So we do have some interesting stuff going out. We've got actually quite a lot of books moving out. We've got some electronics. We've got Adidas bag. We've got some what do we got here? These bad boys. We've got some DVDs. We've got a jacket here, denim jacket. We've got a little Smurf. We've got Pokemon Y going out. That was from my video you wouldn't have even seen yet. We've got lots of clothes here, shirts, jeans. Actually not really selling much of the fleece stuff anymore, which is a bit interesting, but just lots of jeans and shirts really. Some more books. There's even some tea towels going out under there. Dad and Dave sold that 3 times. If you can get that for $5, you probably get $30 to $40 per time. I've got all the Terry Pratchett going out. I got $150 for that, and some Merlin books. So look, a few things going out today. That is the plan, to pick, pack and post, and then got to do a reconciliation of all this and start prepping for some other stuff in the next storage unit. So yeah, let's get working. All right, team, we have finished packing everything going out. Quite a few goodies. We did have a couple of other sales come through while packing as well, which is pretty good. So I'm happy with this. Now I've got to do a big reconsolidation of all of this, and yeah, then I've got to do some other planning. The idea is this guy and this guy I'll be taking back home because they're all untracked, and then I'll blend those two together, and that should give me a bit more space to bring in some more of those. Making room. Alright team, it's Tuesday, and I've actually just done a big change in here. So as I was talking about, I'm going to start to put some shelving in here. I've just done it in small blocks, so I've just moved all those tubs. That was all that and all that. It all fits on that, so I've saved a lot of space. That's basically all the multi-listing stuff. I'm going to be putting another one here, and then that table will not be there anymore. That's going to get hanged from up there, or I might put it on wheels so it's something that just comes and goes. And then I've still got to do all this side as well. We're running out of space pretty quick. As you can see, I've got excess here, so it's all going to be needed very soon. This is good. It's all happening. Right, I'm going to go pick, pack and post. All right, let's pick and pack. So we're back down to 39,700. Got 6 items to go out, not much, just clothes and an old MacBook, and that's it. So let's pick, pack and post. All right, team, back here on Wednesday. Just been at Backpacks and just getting a few things done here, because I'm out and about all day tomorrow again. So some sad news, we're down to 39,280. So it has been very, very quiet. We've got 9 sales going out. We're going to get them out now. We've got some PlayStation games going out. This guy's going over to where was it? Somewhere in Europe, Portugal, and got a nice Summit Series jacket going out, and then just some jeans and a few other things here. So yeah, not too bad. Alright team, back here for Friday, and we're finally getting a bit more traction back with some of the volume. We've got 30 going out the door. We're back on 39,000. We were actually down on 38,000, but we're slowly creeping back up. It's been a bit weird, but we've got a lot of jeans going out, surprisingly. Been listing a lot of jeans, as you can see. So a lot of jeans going out. We've got a couple of older shirts too. If I have a look here, like we're going back from 245, we're up to nearly I think we're up to nearly 1900 now. So some old stuff going out. We've got a little phone going out. We've got backpack. We've got more phones going out. This guy coming out in a video shortly. They're going out. Some movies, some Tarzos. That's going out. I mean, I got them just in the video that's coming out this week as well. So and this guy's gone as well. So a few different things going out. Lots of jeans, obviously. But yeah, not too bad. And I'll take you through all the goodies that people won for the raffle the other night as well. So I'll take you through that shortly. I'm going to pack these and then I'll do those. Alright team, so here are some of the winners for the giveaways that we did the other night. And Beck actually got a, check out this V Mew, pretty cool. We also got Figsy walking away with this Charizard V, and then there was another hit in here. And then there was also another big winner as well, which I'll show you in a second. All right, and the other winner, which was John Roberts, he's won all of this stuff for the reseller bundle, which is pretty cool. Big shout out to a whole bunch of different people. We've got Grumpy Granny giving stuff, we've got Beth giving stuff, we've got Peter giving some stuff, we've got Drew giving some stuff, and we've got John giving some stuff as well. So thank you, folks. This is all coming out to you, John Roberts. Yeah, good luck with it all. Let me know in the comments below, John, if you're selling this or if you're adding any of this to your own collection. Want to know. You can do what you want. I'm just curious. Appreciate you being here. If you do have any questions, comments, chuck them down below. I hope this has given you some insight of the way I'm operating, the way I'm thinking, and the way I'm trying to build my business. I expect that this year there is probably going to be a higher cost expenditure as I get things into the flow. I'm having to take more risks, having to try new things, and the only way to do that is to try new things and to spend more money to try those new things. Because you can't just do this at a small scale, meaning I can't just test this on 10 items. I need to test it on a volume of items to make sure the process is right. So I expect August, September, October, November we'll start to see a better understanding of what's working, what's not. And of course, I'm going to share it with you. Appreciate you being here. You have a wonderful day. Cheers.